Welcome back to The Pulse. With us here today is Commissioner Michael Naft, Clark County Commissioner for District A. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me and for covering important local issues.
Thank you. Before we dive into the questions, please tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Michael Naft. I'm your Clark County Commissioner for District A. That's everything from Spring Valley and Enterprise to West Henderson, Laughlin, Searchlight, Cal Navarre to Prim. So it's a wide area. You think about the 15 in Flamingo and the 215 in Flamingo and Searchlight, Nevada, and some of the differences in those areas. But for the last 6 years, I've had the honor of serving as Clark County Commissioner, and I'm running for re-election because I think while we've made some extraordinary progress, there's work yet to be done. Things like ensuring we can do more for traffic safety in this community, things like making sure that we're keeping up with the growth and the expansion in this valley that we've seen so dramatically are just some of my priorities.
So what are some of the challenges that Clark County has been facing over the last few years, in spite of how it's growing rapidly?
That's a great question. Thank you. Clark County, we are in so many ways fortunate that we are having some really phenomenal economic growth here in this community, that our population continues to increase because people want to be here. This is an exciting place to be. We still have a relatively low cost of living, though it's getting more and more expensive all the time. But we want to make sure that in Clark County we're keeping up with that growth. Something that I'm really proud of is one of the areas I represent, Enterprise. The unincorporated township of Enterprise has been ranked by Forbes magazine as one of the best places to live and raise a family in the whole United States. Meanwhile, they've experienced tremendous amounts of growth in that area. So the fact that we've been able to grow while at the same time fighting hard to make sure that our public safety is keeping up, our police and our fire, fighting to make sure that we have some of the best parks and recreation facilities in the community. These are challenges that will persist, but ones that I'm excited and anxious to work on.
Wow, that's great. So if re-elected, what are still in some of your bucket lists and priorities and policies that you still need to address?
Yeah. Well, I'm really proud of some of the successes we've had when it's come to my work on traffic safety issues. It's been a huge priority of mine to make sure that we do more to reduce the number of serious crashes, injury crashes, and fatalities that we're experiencing on our roadways in Clark County. And while the numbers are still incredibly tragic, we have some silver linings, some success stories. I was really the first in the United States to bring crossing guards to middle schools. And that was after following data that showed more kids were getting hit in front of middle schools than anywhere else. Since we have implemented middle schools in crossing guards, the number of children hit in crossing guards in front of middle schools has been cut in half. Meanwhile, other jurisdictions, City of Las Vegas, in that jurisdiction, the number has gone up 2 times. So there's been some success there, but we still have work to do in that area. I want to make sure that we're continuing to design and engineer better roads, that construction is not omnipresent, that when there's no work happening, we're getting out of the public roadway so people can move on safely, making sure that our traffic bureau at Metro is adequately funded. These are things that I'm going to continue to fight for. And then I'm also going to, as I said, continue to fight for access to park facilities in our community. Clark County Parks and Recreation does a fabulous job. I was proud that I got to open the first community center in Enterprise, first community center that Clark County's opened in over a decade, the Silverado Ranch Community Center at Silverado and Gillespie. That is a wonderful place that is thriving. We need more places like that for the entire community to enjoy.
Nice. So we are almost out of time. What would you like to say to voters out there? This is your pitch.
Well, I just am incredibly grateful for the opportunity that I've had to serve this community that I grew up in and that I love. One of the things that I prioritize, and I think people know about me, is that I prioritize accessibility over anything. I see myself as the customer service agent for the county, and when anybody, no matter who they are, whether you live in or do business in District A, whether you have a thought, idea, a complaint, or a question about things that are within the county's purview, I encourage people to call me on my cell phone, 702-769-9225. Let me better understand the issue and work towards a resolution.
Thank you. Commissioner Naft, running for re-election of Clark County Commission, District A. Thank you.